Hi everyone, I'm Ken Kara with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor, and it's time for another Dave Day here on Community NEPA News. And Dave, let's start with State Cross Country Championships. North Schuylkill's Corey McCormick, she finishes 5th in the girls' AA cross country meet. This is her third medal, Dave, at States. That's impressive as well, and always improving. She hit her goal time as well. One thing I noticed when I covered her in the Schuylkill League meet, Dave, was, and from talking to her, through the years now, so calm, and that's how she runs. She just seems to have that calm presence, but she's so fast. She likes to start fast. She even told us in her interview that some of her coaches early on in her career were like, maybe you should slow down a little bit. And she said, no, that's just my thing. I like to go out there and start fast. But dominant, cool, calm, and collected, and just keeps improving in her career and finishes off another good season.
She got another state medal, and I think it helps too that she's been able to run a lot with Olivia Haas of Blue Mountain, a Schuylkill League rival, but they're friendly rivals, and I think they bring out the best in each other. And when Olivia's going, I believe she finished 4th and Corey was 5th, so that's a great representation of the Schuylkill League. And Corey McCormick, just a great person. We got to meet her last year at our Athlete of the Week dinner, and she deserves any success she gets because she puts a lot of time and a lot of hard work into it.
Dave, we see how hard these athletes work. I really like this story. Corey said that she dedicated her race to Jaden Leiby, a North Schuylkill football player who had the serious neck injury. And she added, I read this in the Standard Speaker, that he would always ask her, hey, how'd you do this week? Or how is it going? And it's nice to hear that, between other athletes, while they're in the school building. So that was very nice. She actually had a number 6 on her running shoes at the state championships, as did other North Schuylkill runners as well. And speaking of that North Schuylkill football team, had to be an emotional night for them playing for their teammate Jaden Leiby after he gets injured a week earlier. They're down in the first half in the District 11 AAA semifinal game against Pine Grove. They come back, Dave. They do what they do best, running it on the ground. They move on to the next round for a big game with Tamaqua.
Yeah, you can't go into that game. You don't know what to expect because it had to be a whirlwind for them the past week too. You talk about your leader, one of your best friends too, and we've talked before. John and I talked last week how close knit this senior group is at North Schuylkill. They've had a lot of success and a lot of big goals for this season, and they're still out there for the Spartans. But you lose a piece like that, how's that going to affect you going into the game? And to Pine Grove's credit too, Pine Grove came out, played very well. They did a lot of things on defense, from what I understand, that kind of put the Spartans on their heels for a little bit. But then, like you said, North School, what they do best is run the football. They have a lot of good running backs, led by the two Chawanski brothers, Tyler Elston. They have a big offensive line that opens up holes for them. And when they got going in the second half, there was no stopping Spartans. Now they go into another big game with Tamaqua, and for regional football fans, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, these two going up against each other the past few years. Dave, sharing the Schuylkill League title last year. This year, North Schuylkill beats Tamaqua. They win that Schuylkill League championship. Tamaqua hungry for this District 11 championship. In their game, a 49-28 victory over Notre Dame Green Pond. Nate Boyle, outstanding athlete all over the football field, just an outstanding athlete. 382 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns on 50 carries. Let me read that one more time. 50 carries, 382 yards, 5 touchdowns, plus he kicked extra points, a perfect 5 for 5, and had an interception. You said he's going to be Standard Speaker Athlete of the Week, well deserved, and this Tamaqua team will be very motivated on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, they got over a hump. They had a tough time over the past few years winning that first playoff game, and I guess they found a formula. Give the ball to Nate Boyle and get out of the way. I wouldn't be surprised if Nate Boyle's still in bed recovering, he's still a little bit sore, but having the opportunity to cover Nate a few times over the past few years, he's a gamer. He'd probably want the ball again on a Monday night or Tuesday night, and let's go. Give me the ball 50 more times, and I'll do whatever I can. But as we've seen with the Raiders over the past few years, they're more than just Nate Boyle, outstanding quarterback in Braden Knobloch, great receiver in Kistler, and linemen that have been there before too. And they got over that hump now, beating Notre Dame, getting into the final. They meet a rival in the district championship game.
And after such a long Schuylkill League season, playing in Division I, that's a very tough division, to go out there in the playoffs and do what the Chawanski brothers are doing, what Nate Boyle is doing, I'm just so impressed by that. Well, let's talk about college football. 2 battles of the unbeatens this weekend. Penn State will play at Minnesota at noon, and then you have LSU taking on Alabama in the afternoon. For Penn State, Dave, it's really been move the ball, even if you don't score, pin the other team deep, let your defense work, explosive plays, limit mistakes, go 1-0 that week, as James Franklin would say. But they go against a Minnesota team. Some would say haven't been maybe tested so far this year, but hey, you still have to win those games.
I think Penn State's defense is the difference in this game, although I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a shootout, a 31-21 type of game. I think, Minnesota might start fast with that emotion, but I think eventually Penn State's better athletes prevail at the end, but they have to be ready because Minnesota has a slew of outstanding receivers, a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. He's a lot like Sean Clifford, and an outstanding running back in Rodney Smith. So they have the balance on offense, and like I said, they have the enthusiasm, the emotion, and the Lions have to be ready or they could be looking at a loss on Saturday.
Dave, I think if Penn State wants to finish this season strong with big games coming up, even Indiana, you look at Ohio State, they have to establish that running game. I think if they get that going, that's that extra gear that offense could have that could put Penn State into elite status and really make them a contender in that college football playoff. Dave, I thank you for your time. Have a good week, sir.